Hi, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Finding Data Friends. Today, we are lucky enough to be joined by Alpa. Thank you for joining us. Do you want to kick us off and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Ben and Jess, for having me here. I am Alpa Buddhabhatti, and I'm working as a lead data consultant with Agile Solution in Northampton, Milton Keynes in UK. And I like to learn something new about data. So, yeah, and I'm working around 15 years in Microsoft technology. So, yeah, that's me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, the data is super broad, right? If you had to pick one specific thing or tool or part of data that to be your favorite, what would you pick?
Yeah, actually, I like many Azure data service, but my favorite one is Azure Data Factory and Azure CNS Analytics because I'm using since long time. But I have used Azure Data, like Azure SQL database and Azure Blob Storage and those things as well. Yeah,
Are you using like the triggers and stuff for Azure Data Factory? We were just talking
yeah,
to another guest who had
yeah,
mentioned
yeah,
how cool it is to kick off things based on like
yeah.
blob storage, files landing, and stuff.
So
Yes,
what you mean, Jess, is that we will be talking in 3 weeks to another guest, right?
Am I backwards? In the future, I believe.
There might be another guest who might bring up exactly that feature.
And this is why you said we shouldn't mention other episodes, right?
um, yeah, I have used like you can schedule your pipeline on the time, like on particular time or day. You can schedule using blob storage, even like when file arrives or when file delete from your storage account.
Hmm.
Or you can create your own customized, triggers. Like you can write down your code in C Sharp or Python or maybe PowerShell or like that. Logic apps as well, and you can trigger Azure Data Factory pipelines. Yeah. So yeah,
Very cool.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So I
I'm not a.
heavily,
I haven't
yeah.
used much Azure Data Factory, so much of it is foreign to me.
But if you know SSIS, then it's very easy to use. Or even if you know SQL, query, then also it's very easy to use because it's similar things, but you have like no code or low code way. So you like just drag and drop components and join them. So yeah,
Okay. Nice.
yeah.
Cool.
So is data integration also what you mainly do in your day job?
In my day-to-day job, I do like data ingestion, data transformations, and you store data in different. So sometimes I use other Azure service, for example, Azure Function apps or Azure Logic apps in your data integration pipeline. So
I
my
love
day,
Azure Functions.
yeah, I have used that in Azure Data Factory many times. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
What's your favorite use case for Azure Functions? Like, have you used them for something specific that's super cool?
Yeah, yeah. So, like for example, if you like to have like you have an image data and you'd like to minimize like a small size or medium size or so you can use Azure Functions in Azure Data Factory. So like you read the data and then you resize your image using Azure Function,
Hmm.
as well as if you want to generate some manifest file like having e-tags and many other properties of your storage account. So at the moment, Azure Data Factory is not able to do that. So for that, you can have Azure Function which do some calculation, and then you can do some other functionality in Azure Data Factory. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
I didn't realize you could use them within Azure Data Factory, so you can use
yeah,
them as part of your processing, huh?
yeah. It's like you like some calculation you want to do, and it's not easy to do by Azure Data Factory or not feasible. Then you can have Azure Function, or you can have your Shell scripts or something. You can do there, and then you call in Azure Data Factory. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Very
You
cool.
had Jazz at PowerShell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
for
do
sure.
that as well. Yeah, yeah, you can do
Now
that
I'm
as
in.
well. Yeah,
So do
yeah.
you ever speak about stuff like that at like public conferences or anything, Alpa?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I have started my journey from new start of data. Thank you for
Aha!
you.
Awesome.
Thank you for that because before that, I never ever thought that I can speak in public. I even not speak in class or room as well much. So I'm like introvert. So But because of new start of data, it's really really helpful for me. So I first speak in new start of data, and then and also Ben has provided me few mentors like Catherine and Ben Kettner and Con Verbeek. They are very very useful to me, and like it's so motivated me. So I started submitting my session in other events like SQL beats and past summits, Takorama and Data Grillen, and there are so many other events like in-person events, as well as
Mm-hmm.
I do speak in virtual events as well. So many other like Data to be Bogan, and there are many others. So yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So I think now I'm okay.
Well,
Yeah,
if you spoke at Past Summit, SQL Bits, and Techorama, I think it is pretty safe to say it
Professional.
doesn't get much bigger than that in our world. I mean, we may give Satya a call if maybe there's something like at Build or Ignite, but other than that, I think
yeah,
this is as good as it gets. So, and this is one of the journeys that I
yeah,
really loved watching and just seeing
yeah,
how from the first time we've met and the first time we spoke, where you also presented yourself as, oh, I'm not sure if public speaking even is for me. And then
yeah,
the other week, I saw your picture on the big Tekorama stage. So happy to see that.
yeah.
Um,
But it's
little
all
sh-
thanks to you, man. Because of
uh,
new star of data, it's all change happened to me. Even I never believed that I can speak. So yeah,
I'm happy to agree to disagree on that one because anything that happens at New Stars of Data or our newcomer track or all the other great events out there, data masterminds, um, data master, data minds
That's where I
connect.
work.
And yeah, all newcomers there, so that's why. Um, data minds connect, awesome newcomer track. Data Scotland, more and more events doing
yeah.
exactly
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Actually, I did spoke after that in Data Mines, Data Scotland, and Scottish Summits and Cloud Brew as well. Yeah,
Wow.
All that
You
we
got a
and
lot
these
in.
other organizers
yeah,
do is we build a stage for people
Hmm.
like you where we believe that their stories to tell, and other events might be like, yeah, but we don't know who they are. You don't need to know people as long as they have a story to tell. Speaking of shameless self plug here, call for speakers for the next New Stars of Data is still open until mid of this month. The event will be in October. Call for speakers for the next Data Grown is still open, and the event will be next May, and call for speakers will be open until mid December. And we will also have a newcomer track. And the other thing that we've just announced, if you go to the Past Data Community Summit website, we have a few extra sessions to give away for new-ish speakers. So not someone that never started, that never presented before, but someone who maybe was just at an event and spoke there for the first time and therefore missed the call for speakers for past, or that thought, well, this is still too big for me. We have 3 slots to give away. There's a separate call for speakers. Go to the Past Summit website or ping me. And we got 3 more slots for people that just got into speaking but were not sure enough if they want to hit the big stage, if that makes any sense.
Hmm.
There's a couple of rules. I'm not going to go into all the details here, but looking forward to all these submissions as well, and looking forward to 3 very awesome sessions by, let's say, not new, but new-ish speakers.
Sounds good. Very cool.
So, Alpa, if you're not on stage doing public speaking, and if you're not doing data integration and data ingestion and writing Azure functions and all that fancy stuff, what's your favorite non-data thing to do?
I think there are a few more things. So I like to watch TV series. Uh, s- and sometimes I like to cook, and most of the time, not sometimes, I like to cook food. And I like with
Perfect.
fresh food. So I always cook. I think you will find me in kitchen if I'm not in front of the computer. Or I would like to go for a park walking as well, like big garden or big parks. So I really like to walk there. Or maybe even in seaside if there is a water around, then I really like to go there and walk around 1 hours at least.
Nice.
Sometimes I do read a books, but I think I haven't read since last 6 months. So yeah.
What TV series are you watching at the moment?
At the moment, I'm watching Lucifer.
Mm,
Uh,
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
yeah, it's devil.
I could tell you all how it ends, but that would be a horrible spoiler alert. So
Yeah.
That is not what this podcast is about. Spoilers. TV show spoilers.
I mean, you were spoiling a future podcast episode. So
Wow.
why
I
can I
thought it
not
was in the
spoil a
past.
future?
I got my time travel mixed up.
Yeah, we probably should go back to publishing episodes in the order that we record them.
If you want me to remember where we are, we should.
Yeah, good point. Well, then again, if I had done that, I could not have told people that we just opened the call for speakers for those extra sessions, because that would already be almost closed. So this is where things get
I see. I see. So this is your fault that we're whipping things around.
pretty much.
Okay, great. It's fine.
I have an agenda here.
It's less of a
no idea what it
spoiler,
is.
more of a teaser. You know, something's coming in the future episode that you may want to check in. See how we did that? It's just a reframing.
I'm trying to come up with what's the difference between a spoiler and a teaser, but I got nothing.
There is none.
But also,
I'm right.
fair. I'm going to let it slide.
Great.
However, Alpa told us that she likes to cook. That might come in handy, huh?
That would come in handy. Alpa, what is your favorite thing to cook, or what is your favorite food if it's not something that you like to cook?
Yeah, actually, it's always favorite is salad, having the everything like cheese and all kind of the seeds, like sunflower seeds and other kind of seeds, and all different kind of vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my all-time favorite. If I'm not eating, like not cooking, then I eat at least salad, like prepare and eat. Otherwise, I will cook vegetarian food like vegetarian like Indian food, because I really like those foods. So yeah,
This is even better, because quite often we ask people what their favorite food is, and then Ben is also vegetarian and said he doesn't get to eat the food. Like, we visited Ree, and it was like meat with fries cooked in meat, so it was not suitable. So this is much better.
yeah.
No. That is first of all, that's perfect. I might still go for the salad this time, just because we've had Indian food with Hugo last week. And I'm looking for some, and also just a
Yeah, but
salad in
home
between.
cooked Indian food, I feel like you can't skip that.
That is very true.
Yes,
So now it's a competition.
It's very easy to cook. Like I can cook in 10 minutes many things. So yeah.
Perfect. I can eat many things in 10 minutes.
Same.
This is a perfect friendship right here.
One of the many reasons we're friends.
So true.
So true. Yeah.
I think one of the first times we met in person, Ben, we went and got food. I'm not sure we had met before when I got to Grillen early, and then we went into
that is
Lingen and got dinner that night.
It was the second time we've met, because we briefly met in Columbus at the Sequel Saturday.
Right. Oh yeah.
I'm going to say 2 weeks or so before.
Yeah, it was. You're right. I forgot about that, because you just popped in for the weekend, didn't you?
I did.
A crazy journey for that.
Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I always liked Columbus. That was a good event.
It was a very fun event. Lots of my new and old friends were there, so definitely worth it. And also Jonathan Sequel Locks, one of the organizers of Columbus, he basically made the same crazy trip the year before to come to Grillen for the weekend. So I think it's quid pro quo. And again, super fun. I would have loved to go again this year. It was not in the books to go again. But one of these years, Peter Shore, I'm coming for you.
Nice.
Dum, dum, dum.
Oh, I got a button for this, but no. No, very great event. Very much looking forward to be back there one day. But yeah, this is where we first met. And then the second time we met was in Lingen. And the first thing we did was technically not get food, because if I remember correctly, I was the only one eating, because we met so late that you already had dinner. But
had I didn't eat that night.
I don't think you did.
Huh. We just came for a drink to hang out then.
Yep.
Okay.
Which was also fun. I mean,
yeah, Was fun.
Gotta
Nice.
do what you gotta do.
Cool. Well, on that note, I think first of all, thank you, Alpa, so much for joining us. It's been another great chat, and it's been so great to get to know you, both your favorite data things and your favorite non-data things. And I look forward to some home-cooked Indian food. That will be amazing.
You're now gonna
But
cook on the kidnapping van, which is super handy,
this is
especially if you
perfect.
get to areas where all that is being served is meat and meat with meat.
Yeah.
I would just
whip up
refer
something
to our
special.
onboard canteen.
Yes. This van is getting massive and very like kitted out, isn't it? But
I think it's at this point it's not a van anymore. It's more like a Winnebago or something like that.
like an RV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you. Thank you for having me, Ben and Jess. Thank you so much.
yes, of
Thank you for
course.
being with us.
Thank
This
you.
was fun. Thank you,
It
everybody.
was.
And
Speak to you
we'll see
soon.
you all next week. Bye.
Bye.